Hello, my MFA 608 students, and welcome to Module 8. Woo! Whee! Yes, we are getting close to the end. Yes, fantastic. So this module is going to throw you a little bit of a curveball, and curveballs are okay because we're going to be doing some practicing this week, which we have not yet done thus far in this class, but then we're going to be doing something that is very familiar. So it's got a little bit of a mixture of both. Yes, so be excited for that. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to student view just to make sure that what I see and what you see are the same thing. All right, so we're going to go back to module numero 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the learning objectives. All right, so basically, this is it. Assess a piece of the writing from the lens of a writing center employee. So this is something new. Thus far, we have had a chance to kind of be an editor from a creative writer point of view. And writing academically and writing creatively, yeah, they're not the same, okay? So that is going to be something that's going to be a little bit maybe out of some of your comfort zones, or maybe out of your realms of experience, or maybe this is something you've been doing for a while, so we'll find out. And then, just like we've done before, so this is where you will have submitted your assignment, your big assignment from Module 7, where you're going to submit it and reply to 2 people. So we've done that before with several assignments throughout the course of this term, and so we're going to do that again. So that's going to be the one where the big one where it's like the career path plan, and we'll talk about that, and then some more resources. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to probably spend the most time on this concept here, which we'll get to. We'll get to that assignment, and I'll break it down for you. Okay, so module overview again, kind of just read through this on your own, but I will just say that this does talk a lot about writing centers and, basically working in a writing center and kind of what that would be. And even if you don't ever plan on working in a writing center, if you ever plan on teaching at the professional level, more than likely you'll end up teaching classes that you'll be working with a writing center, and so it's a good idea to at least know what they do so they can help you as a professor. And it does state quite clearly academic writing involves a different skill set than creative writing. So if this is not really your cup of tea, and this is not something that you really feel strongly in, like this is a strong skill, that's okay, but at least you'll get a taste of it, and maybe you'll find out, hey, this is something I'm really good at. But just keep in mind that we're going to be kind of taking a different approach with one of the assignments. Okay, so go ahead and read through this, and it will help you understand that because I do teach a lot of freshman incoming composition classes, I'm quite familiar with this concept. So yeah, if you're going to be an English professor and that's what you're going to do, more than likely you have to teach intro to comp, and this is something you'll work on a lot. So just letting you know, when we do these assignments in this class today, this is something you'd be doing for a living if you decide to become an English professor. Just saying. Okay. Okay, so the module at a glance, again, we're going to go through each of these, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide. Let's just kind of get right to the heart of it. Okay, so some readings and resources. Now, most of these are pretty straightforward. There's one here that's a little different. This uses a program called Who Knew It? And so when you click on this link right here, Atomic Learning, and it's like, who knew it? This is actually like a third-party software where you can, I've used it at other universities, you can do all sorts of things. It can be used for professional development. There are tons and tons of resources out there. So you actually have to log into this, and you log in the same way you would log into just about anything here at Southern New Hampshire, with your email address and the same password. So there's that. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in, and it'll take you to the Who Knew It basically landing pad. Okay, and there are, just like I said, there are a ton of these different things that you can do and learn. If it's all these different types of modules you can take to help you learn really anything about anything. It's amazing. Okay, but we want to look about tips for writing tutors. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and under the search bar type in tips for writing tutors. Okay, and then you can click on this, and that would basically, you go ahead and start this, and then you can view the module. It's kind of like a little module and stuff. Now this is not required. This is, not graded or anything like this. But if this is something that you feel like this is a tool you will be using in your future, or you teach right now and you would like to get some more information, this is a great investment of your time to get some more skills on that, and definitely will help you with the assignments for this week. So yeah, there's that. So then you have the other sources that you can again look through at your leisure. Again, that's kind of on you. All right, so let's get over to the actual assignments. But first, before we get started, I will post a lesson on, so it's really academic writing. One of the most common things that students have when they're writing academically is all academic papers, well, not all, you can't really clarify, it's hard to have absolutes in anything, but a lot of academic papers require then things to be written in third person as opposed to first person or second person. Second person is just second person drives me nuts when students are using that. So I actually have a video that I use in my classes that shows students how to find and fix second person, and that will be in the announcements section. But it kind of gives you an idea of what to expect and kind of one thing to look for when you're giving feedback from an academic point of view. So we'll do that. Look for that. Okay. All right. Now, activity 8-2, feedback on the writing, on the academic writing. Okay, so this could look very intimidating, but let's not get too hung up on it. So I'm going to break it down, so please pay attention because I'm going to break this down on how to do this. Okay, so here's the actual assignment right now. 2 students from the same Introduction to Composition class present their final drafts for your review. Okay, so they're in the same class. The assignment is a persuasive research paper. Okay, so persuasive research paper. So they've basically picked a topic and they're trying to persuade you one aspect of it is, the way to do it. And they have it due in a week. So it's not quite due yet. So they're just coming to you in the Writing Center and they say, I have this paper. Okay, now what's not included here is the rubric that the students are going to have. Now generally the Writing Center should have a copy of the rubric, okay? But we do know, here's some key points. It needs to have a persuasive thesis, okay? So basically, a sentence or two which clearly defines what the paper is about and the stance it is taking. So let's say it's the persuasive topic is legalizing recreational marijuana. Okay, so it needs to clarify, really should be in the introduction, that marijuana should be legalized recreationally throughout the country for X reasons. Okay, whatever. So it needs to clearly identify the topic and the stance it is taken. Okay, then it has to have something called a refutation, which is an acknowledgement of the opposing viewpoint. Now this is very important because as I teach in my classes, unless you've addressed, when you're trying to persuade somebody to do something, they're going to have a reason not to listen to you. And unless you address that reason, they're probably not going to listen to what you have to say. So that's your thing. So there needs to be an acknowledgement of an opposing viewpoint, okay? There are those who are against legalizing marijuana because they say it's a gateway drug or something, something along those lines, okay? And at least 3 research sources presented in either APA or MLA style. Okay, so these papers can be in either APA or MLA. So even though these 2 students are in the same class, the teachers allowed them to write an MLA or APA, which is kind of weird because generally we don't do that. We either focus on one style or the other style, but for this case, it's either one. Now, what you do not see here on the rubric is, spelling and stuff like this, but there is a general sense of when you do this that you need to be able to focus on what they did right and what they need to improve upon. So there's 2 papers here. Okay, so let's take a look at the first paper. Okay, this one is in APA formatting, or is it? Okay, is there anything wrong with the APA formatting? Let you guys figure that out. Okay, so then you would go through this and basically look for, you're not really doing a line edit. Okay, you're not doing a line edit. Basically what we're looking for is, okay, do they have a thesis statement? Is it clearly defined on what this is about? Okay, so you'd look for that. Do they recognize the other side? Okay, Do they have in-text citations? Are they using research? Okay, oh, well, there's an in-text citation. So, and then let's see, we can kind of look through more. Are there any more in-text citations? Okay. Oh, look, there's one. Okay. So you kind of can kind of go through this and look through this, and then you'll see they have, you can just kind of read through this. You can have a general overall view of their, the grammar, and if they're using third person and stuff like that. And then here's their references page, okay? And then there's the references page. So you should be able to look at this and say, okay, so based on what we're supposed to be looking for, do they have all the elements? All right? Meaning, let's get back to this one here. So for this first paper, do they have a persuasive thesis? Do they have an acknowledgement of the opposing viewpoint? And do they have at least 3 research sources presented in either APA or MLA style? Okay, and are they doing it in proper MLA or APA or MLA style? Are there other issues, like are they using a lot of first person and second person? Are there a lot of grammar mistakes? Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to apply proper editing techniques to each piece of writing. So you're definitely going to identify these main points, because that's what we're looking at, okay? Your strategy provides an appropriate strategy for revision. This is kind of like the feedback you're going to give them overall, and you can write this at the end of the document and say, hey, based on what I saw, these are the things that are working well, these are the things that you need to adjust and address before you turn in the final vision. Okay, so basically this is like a couple of paragraphs where you are giving them a strategy to do the revision, because you're not doing the revision for them, you are helping them figure out what they need to fix in the things. You're helping them recognize the problem, okay? But you definitely need to necessarily find ways to address these 3 points, okay? Alrighty, and then there's the second paper. So there's 2 papers. There's paper 1 and paper 2, and let's take a look at paper 2. Okay, this is, I guess, MLA formatting, is it? Okay. Anyway, so you will look through this and read through this. Again, you're looking for, do they have a clear thesis statement? Okay. Are they addressing the other point of view? Where are their resources? Okay. Where are the resources? Oh, maybe I just gave something away. Anyway, so that's something to look at with that paper. So again, you would do the same thing where you would look for these things. Do they have a persuasive thesis? Do they acknowledge the opposing viewpoint? Do they have at least 3 resources? And how is their MLA and APA style? And what you may want to do also is when you do this, strategy for providing helping them do revision, maybe give them some resources on APA and MLA style. There's a lot of resources out there that people, maybe they need help doing basic research. Maybe you give them some links to how to do basic research. Okay, so this is kind of the, whatever. And this is, it's a bit of a challenge, but again, that's just kind of what it is. All right, so that's that assignment. Okay, so again, what I'm looking for are, did you basically look at each of these papers and find these 3 things and some general overall comments? Then, did you make some general overall comments that addressed these things and what they can do, what they did well, and what they can improve upon, and give them some resources? Okay, there. All right, I think we beat that to death. Okay. And then we go to prompt 3. This is basically the feedback. We've done this before, where you're going to submit your paper that you wrote, the career plan. You're going to submit that to critique it, and then you're going to review 2 other people's things, and basically respond to these things. Is the plan realistic? Plan optimistic? What questions might you ask about their goals? Whatever. So again, that's pretty straightforward. You would go to this place right here, and we've done this before. You would upload your paper and do those annotations like we've done before. A friendly reminder, please submit your paper from Module 7, upload it as soon as possible so people can start working on their feedback. Do not wait till the weekend to upload your paper, because then you're not going to have a chance to get as much feedback, which is bad. We want you to be able to get feedback. So please, oh please, oh please, oh please, upload your paper from Module 7 as soon as possible. You can always come back and do the feedback later. Okay. And then last but not least, just a reminder that we are continuing to add resources to that discussion board, which is found discussions, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, 1-3. Okay, continue to add this. Yeah, That's the thing. Okay, so that's it for Module 8. So that the one with the academic, yeah, this one here. Again, if you have questions, please email me because I don't want you to go crazy about this. But definitely address the things that says here on the rubric. All right, and that's it for Module number 8.